Hello everybody, Bill Platt here again, and I'd like to talk to you in this video about some of the books that we're going to be competing with and how those books go together, and to give you some kind of indication on what you can do with your own self-publishing business. So I've got set up here 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books for us to take a look at, and we're going to look at those in this video. So there's a couple concepts I want to share with you before we get started. One is the number of people reviewing a particular book. In this case, the book has been reviewed 1,844 times. Now, what I've learned over the years is the people who buy our books, don't automatically write a review. In fact, the truth of it is only 1 in 100 people will leave a written review on a book that they've purchased. That's on a good day. Some books only get one review per 1,000 copies sold, and I've got them in both sides of it. The best number of reviews I got per copy sold was I got 25 reviews on 2,000 sales on one particular book. That's my best, so that's like what, a 1 in 80. For every 80 people who bought a copy of the book, one left a review. So when we're looking at 1,844 reviews here, we can extrapolate from that and determine. I like doing the times 100 times 1,000. So that gives me my minimum number of books sold and maximum number of books sold. So the minimum number of books sold would be times 100. So we'd be looking at 184,000 copies of this book sold. And at maximum, we'd be times 1,000, and it would be 1.84 million copies of this particular book sold. And we really don't know, so we're just guessing. And so for the sake of simplicity, I like using the by times 100 number. So I'm estimating 184,000 copies of this particular book has been sold. Another thing I'd like to share with you real quick is inside this browser, I'm running this particular box here. It's from keepa.com, KEEPA.com. And it is a tool that you can add to your browser that gives you some pricing history on physical books inside Amazon. Now, it doesn't do anything for digital books, but it does do for printed books. And since we're talking about journals and planners and diaries, we are talking about printed books. So this is relevant to what we're doing here. So this particular book was initially launched. It was listed for $15.29, and then last year they lowered the price to $11.30. I think it's $11.29. So at $11.29 for like the last year on this particular book. So that's something just kind of give you a ballpark what other people are selling their books for. Also, I'd like to talk to you also about color pages. So if we go into the look inside here, now look inside, they're going to give us access to about 10% of all the pages in a particular book. So this particular book was, let me see, I believe it was 184 pages. Yes, 184 pages. So we should be able to see roughly 18 pages within this book by using the Look Inside tool inside Amazon. And once we get inside, we do see that's color pages. We got blue background here, and then we got blue here as well. And Amazon's going to treat that as a colored book. Even if it's just blue and black, it's still more than one color. It's more than just black. So you got black and white, or you get color. So that's your options. And color costs more to print. So that's going to be a factor when you're putting this together. And a lot of people will come to me and say, but Bill, my book is in color and it costs more to print that book. How can I make money at that? Well, you raise the price of your book. And like with this particular book, it's $11.29. As you can see right here. That's the retail of this particular book, $11.29. However, if this is a straight black and white book, they would probably be selling this book for $8 or $9 instead of $11. So they have passed the cost of color ink, color pages to their customer. And then the customer can decide, are they willing to pay $11.29 for this book instead of $8 for this book? And what you'll notice over time is a lot of people are willing to spend more money if they feel like they are getting more value for their money. So when a customer looks at a particular book and they realize it's a journal and they're going to be writing inside this journal, when they see black and white pages, they may not realize it, but they know that black and white is cheaper to print than color. So they may come in and they see the book and they look inside and they see, oh, it's color pages, so that's why it's more money. And they're willing to accept that. So give your customers the opportunity to buy the book they want. You can produce a book in black and white and in color, and then let your customer decide whether they want to spend more to get the color or if they want to spend less to get the black and white. So pass the extra cost of color ink to your customers and don't sweat the details, okay? So we're going to talk a little bit more about concepts here. And so with some of these books I'm showing you, they're going to have like text, like written text in the book in addition to the journal pages, as like with this one. Right here we've got 2 paragraphs of information, and I believe, let's see, the previous page had a paragraph of information, and then it gets to the journal pages. Now the journal pages, each of the journal pages are just fill in the blank. You can put the date on there. You can put in, it allows you to record how long you slept, what you ate today, what kind of exercises you did today. And then it's got a second page with more information. Physically, this is how I feel today. Things that were fun or relaxing today. Things that were hard or stressful today. And it allows people to fill this information out, and then it repeats itself. So every day in the calendar here has 2 pages within the book. And it tells you right here in the title it's a 90-day book. So this particular book, it's going to be at least 180 pages. But then you got your title page and your copyright info page and maybe some blank pages at the front or the back of the book. So it should be around 182, 184, and I tend to do about 188 pages on that. So I have 4 to 6 pages on the front and then 2 blanks at the end of the book. And Amazon will allow you to have 4 blanks back to back, but only up to 4 back to back. So I could do 4 empty blank pages at the end of it, or I can do 2 blank pages at the end of the book. That's my choice. But that's the way this book is constructed. So this particular book, we're looking at 90 days, 2 pages on each day. And if we go to the sales page for it, is 184 pages in length. The book was released 27 months ago. The list price on this is $11.29. And let me show you one other factor here. So we look at the dimensions of this book. So it's 5.75 times 8 1/4 as far as the measurements of the book. So it's an off-size book. It's not a 6x9, smaller than the 6x9, but bigger than a 5x8. So it's a custom size, and you can do that with Amazon. That's fine, but it's going to change your costing and other factors that go along with this book. And with some of your extended distribution partners, some of the extended distribution partners will limit you to only certain sizes on your book, and that has to do with shelving or shipping or whatever the case may be. But if you're just selling from Amazon, it doesn't really matter. And a lot of us are just selling from Amazon. So it doesn't really matter if we go with a common size or uncommon size. But I tend, personally, I stick to the 6 by 9, the 8 by 10, and 8.5 by 11 on my book sizes. So, but that's your choice. You know, you're a self-published author. You're a self-publisher. You can make those decisions for yourself. Now, I will say too, most of the people who are publishing journals, the vast majority of the more successful people, not, and this isn't a absolute standard, but it is a general principle. I know a lot of people who publish journals. As you can tell, I got a site that provides them tools to enable them to publish journals quickly and easily. And so I know a lot of people who do publish, and a lot of them are my customers. And the most common size that self-publishers use with their journals, and we're talking about the self-published authors who sell a lot of books, is 6 by 9. So 6 inches by 9 inches is the most popular size in journals, but I guess I'm different, I guess. I like doing the 6 by 9 and the 8 by 10 and the 8.5 by 11. So I do all three sizes, and whatever size you go with is entirely up to you, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and stop this video right here, and then I'm going to carry on with the discussion of these different books in an upcoming video. And let me double check real quick, make sure that if there's one more principle I need to discuss with you before I go on. Let's see, I think I've got them all covered. The different sizes, the different prices according to ink, whether it's black and white or color, the number of pages in a book. And so the other thing I wanted to mention to you in this video is that these are factors that lead to there's a standard print cost of a book, and that helps us determine and understand what our royalty will be on that particular book. So the way Amazon does this is you got a print cost, and let's just say, for example, that 6 by 9, that's 184 pages, costs $6 to print. And then it's an $11.29 book. So in principle, you got $6 going to the printer, and then you got $5.29 left. And from that $5.29, 40% goes to the author and 60% goes to Amazon. So 40% of $5.29 is roughly $2.15. So on this particular book, and I'm guesstimating, I'm not being precise here. So the numbers can vary and they will vary. So don't hold me to this particular number. But on an estimation, a quick estimation based on experience, they're probably earning $2 per copy sold here. And if, in fact, if we go by the times 100 to get, according to the number of reviews, it sold 184,000 copies and made the author at least $2 per book sold. So this particular book has potentially earned $400,000 in the last 2 years, okay? So I'm going to end this video right here, and then I'm going to talk a little bit more about these other books, and we're going to look at it from the perspective of what can I learn from the competition, and what can I take from that to apply to my own books. So until the next video, I am Bill Platt.